Hello, all you huggable lollipops. I am Joseph the Huggist. Today I'm playing Zen Pinball 2, Star Wars Masters of the Force table. I'm not sure what it's called on the PS4 version of what Zen Pinball changed its name to, but when I got the game, that's what it was called. I'm also going to do a retro review, again for practice to get better reviews. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And before I start talking about the actual movie, I was 15 when this movie came out in 2005, I believe. And I remember seeing it in theaters opening weekend, and it was during summer when it came out. So I would have been in school still. And I'm saying and a lot. I gotta stop saying and. And one night, the opening weekend night, my parents and I went to go visit my older brother, who is, at the time, I can't remember if I had my other nephew yet, but I went to go visit my brother, and I have two nieces and another nephew from marriage. And I was spending time with them, and he was going to go see Episode 3 the day after. And it was a theater close enough to where my parents' house was at the time. I don't know if someone convinced him or if he decided on his own, but he got me a ticket too. So we went to go see it together. But he went to go to a party that night with his wife, and they had someone babysitting my nieces and nephews, and because I was there, me too. It was a few hours, and we all had fun, and went to... It was around nighttime, and I was trying to sleep, but the person who was babysitting wasn't exactly a silent sleeper, and I can sleep through a lot, but she snored very, very loudly. And I was trying to get some sleep, and in an effort to find a way to sleep, I went to their dining room, which was the room next over, crawled underneath the table and in between the chairs, and just tried sleeping there. About an hour goes by, and I was able to sleep, and then it got really quiet. She got up to use the restroom or something, or check on us, for all I know. Next thing I know, an hour goes by, and I get another hour's of sleep, and my brother's waking me up, and it's like, oh, there you are. And apparently, when I was sleeping, she went, whoa, that was cool. She was searching the house frantically, trying to find me, because she woke up, didn't realize I wasn't there. From what my brother told me, she was... When they got home, she was on the stairs, chain smoking cigarettes, rocking back and forth because she didn't know what to do. Just apologizing to my brother, saying, I lost your brother. I lost Joey. I don't know what happened to him. No idea where he went. And he came and he found me pretty quickly. I also have a history of sleeping in unusual spots, or I had a history. I don't do that anymore. When I was a kid, there would be like parties and stuff, and no one could find me, and I would be sleeping underneath a church bench or something. The church bench wasn't at church. We just happened to have a pew. And to this day, I associate that story with Episode 3. So into the actual movie. So the plot of the movie off of imdb.com. 3 years into the Clone Wars, the Jedi rescue Palpatine from Count Dooku. As Obi-Wan pursues a new threat, Anakin acts like a double agent between the Jedi Council and Palpatine, and is lured into a sinister plan to rule the galaxy. Of the 3 original prequels, this is the best, and I know I'm not the only one that has that opinion. It by far is a superior movie. Just on the times I was lost interest, I only lost interest in this movie 3 times. And that's, I believe it was all Padme and Anakin scenes. As in Phantom Menace, I believe it was 11 times, and Attack of the Clones, I do believe it was 9 times. So it got severely decreased with time, which is a good thing. And I'm sure once I get to A New Hope, the times I lost interest will probably be 0 or 1. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it in a few years. I'm looking forward to watching it. But how did Episode 3 look for me? From the day I first saw it, I remember from the very first scene when it opened, I always thought the movie looked fantastic. Back looking at it through nostalgic eyes, I still loved it. Today, if they wanted to, they could do better computer graphics. We've seen better computer graphics. We've gotten so tame looking things through our eyes today. Do not remember what it looks like back then. Back then, that was the best looking computer generated movie ever. I can't remember a lot of the set pieces I really loved looking at. It sounded really great too. I love the sound in this movie. In every Star Wars movie, the sound is by far one of the best parts of the movie. It's also sometimes one of the only parts in the movie that are good, like The Phantom Menace. The music was excellent. The special effects were great. It sounded like a Star Wars movie should. Now, into the 3 characters I want to talk about. Character number 1, like Attack of the Clones and The Phantom Menace, is Anakin Skywalker. And I really feel bad for Anakin in this movie.
I'm looking forward to completing your training.
It's kind of tragic what the Jedi do to him, because he really tries to be a good Jedi, but they all either expect too much for him or they don't trust him. And I mean, it's not their fault either. He does act like a whiny kid and stuff. And I do appreciate Hayden Christensen's acting for the role. It's really hard to play that role, Darth Vader, before he became Darth Vader. There's so many expectations to it, and I thought he played it in this movie perfectly. The character number 2 I want to talk about is Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, which, when I was a kid, I never was into the EU and everything. I never really put the dots together until the episode 3 that Palpatine and the Darth Sidious were the same person. I wasn't really looking for it too, and I was just going to By the way, when I grew up with a pinball table, this is what I wanted to do when I take a break. Just hold it there for a minute, take a breather, and get back to the game. I was never looking to trying to figure out who this Sith Lord was in the first two movies. I really wasn't. When Palpatine came out to be the Sith Lord in the movie, it wasn't a big shock, but I was like, alright, I can see that. The funny thing about him is that his facials are very cartoony. And it's honest. I'm pretty sure it's unintentionally hysterical, but from the day I saw it, it was hilarious. And character number 3 that I want to talk about, and I love the actor, I hate the character, is Mace Windu. Mace Windu is a goddamn dick of a Jedi. If there was a Sith temple or Sith, I'm not sure, but if there was like a Sith console, it would not be too hard to imagine Mace Windu being, whoa, spinning and spinning, I'm spinning, 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 spinning and spinning, I'm spinning, 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 I can't believe I'm still spinning. Oh, sorry, I'm a little bit dizzy right now. If there was a Sith console, I do believe Mace Windu would be a part of it. He is a complete dick who's very arrogant. He goes and tries to take the Sith Lord that they couldn't find by him when right in front of their face. They couldn't find him almost by himself with, I guess, I'm not sure who those Jedi were, but I'm pretty sure none of them were masters. With 3 Jedi Knights and just him, he went to go and take him down, and he couldn't, for many reasons. But the line that always bothered me about that is, he said if this information is true to Anakin, then you will surely gain my trust. Which means he's taking information from someone he doesn't trust in the first place. It always bothered me why you wouldn't consult. You don't even. He has the technology to call Master Yoda or Master Obi-Wan, or personally my favorite, for just because of the way he looks, Master Plo Koon. He could have called any other Jedi Master and got into a conversation with them, and he didn't because he's fucking arrogant. Never been a fan of Mace Windu. I love Samuel L. Jackson. Never liked Mace Windu. Now, my least favorite scene in the movie is Count Dooku versus Obi-Wan and Anakin. And I love the choreography of the fight and everything, and the tone and the sound, and not really the smell. But if there was a smell coming from this movie, that would be a problem. But the only reason why I hate it is Count Dooku is between the Sith Lords, Count Dooku was my favorite. I like him more than Darth Maul. I like Darth Maul's look more. I like Count Dooku's elegance more. And Christopher Lee is such a amazing actor that, and his, for lack of a better word, gravitas is pretty spectacular. And I just hated seeing him die in the first, I'm not sure, was it 15 minutes? I know for sure 20 minutes. I would have loved to see more of Dooku, and I know I could see more of Dooku in the Clone Wars show, but I would love to see more of Christopher Lee as Dooku. Now my favorite scene in the movie is Anakin versus Obi-Wan, and man, I'm still using "and" a lot. I really need to use more verbs. Primarily because it's what the whole movie was building to. We all knew Obi-Wan and Anakin were gonna fight. And disappointed with myself. Therefore, this was inevitable. But the way that they did it, it could have been a better scene overall, but emotionally, I was invested in it. I don't know if everyone else was. I happen to have I get emotional whenever I watch a lot of movies. Just recently, in fact, I went to go see Return of the Kings again, and I've seen that movie a lot, and I was crying in the theater. Legit sister slapping me like, why are you crying for this shit? I get very emotional with movies. I'm a very emotional person overall. I can't help that, I just gotta embrace it. I wasn't crying at that scene, but I was feeling very powerful emotions during it. From Anakin's perspective, it was Obi-Wan is the closest thing he has to a father, and we learned that in Attack of the Clones. So it was almost like, from Anakin, son versus father. From Obi-Wan's perspective, he's like it's a very right on the nose. He was like a brother to him. It was a brother versus brother fight, and I think I'm more disappointed with me saying "and" than I am with any other Star Wars movie with how much I'm saying "and." But Obi-Wan truly loved Anakin, and trying to kill him is the hardest thing in the world. Fighting with family is never fun. From personal experience, it can be fun. At times it can be hilarious. But fighting with family isn't really fun. And they both considered each other to be family. So my 6 notes on the movie. First off, why did Lucas create 3 badass villains only to kill them off really fast? And I know the story of the prequel movies is about Anakin, and it isn't about the villains. But I would have loved to seen more of Darth Maul, and because fan support was on him, they created more. I would have loved, in live action movies, I would have loved to see more of Darth Maul, Count Dooku, and General Grievous to me was always a very interesting character. I liked him a lot, and I said "and" again, didn't I? General Grievous, I like him. I like his look, and I love the fact that he has 4 lightsabers for no reason. And his idea of training in the Jedi arts is just to spin his hands really fast. That's what Count Dooku trained him in the Jedi arts for. Note number 2, I'm sorry. At what point does Palpatine use his powers when he's in danger? You would think in the very beginning when the Starcraft is going down, the Separatist ship, that he would think, I might want to use my powers here to save myself, like a Sith, like as most Siths probably would. He didn't do that at all, which the amazing thing about the Emperor is that he always has this amazing self-control. He is extremely powerful powerful enough to hide from the... And yet he has no temptation to use it when his life is in danger. Maybe I'm not... Like I said, I'm not too familiar with the EU at that point, and right now I'm only slightly familiar with it. I have listened to a few of the books, but not all of them. Was Palpatine's ability to see in the future so far advanced from the Jedi's that he knew he was going to survive that crash, so he wasn't worried about it? Maybe. I'm not sure. Note number 3. Why is Anakin so obsessed with the title of being a Jedi? He can help and love whoever he wants without being in the Order. It seemed ridiculous to me that he could have gone rogue at any time and been whatever he wants, but yet he wanted to be a Jedi because ever since he was a little kid, he idolized them. But clearly, from the beginning, Mace Windu never wanted anything to do with him, which is what led to the downfall. And he had to hide the one thing that he had to hide his emotions very badly. He hid his emotions from the Jedi Council about Padme. Just the line where Obi-Wan's asking Padme, it's his, isn't it? Like, he really needed to answer that question. Was Obi-Wan that in love with Anakin that he didn't want to see the truth that was right in front of his eyes? I'm not sure. But he could have been a rogue Jedi doing good for the universe in his own way. He could have been whatever he wanted, and yet he wanted to be a Jedi so bad that it ultimately cost him being a Jedi. I can't articulate the point I want to make here, but I never understood why he wanted to be a Jedi so bad. If he wanted to do good, he could have done good without being it. What resources is on Kashyyyk that the Separatist army would send a whole force there? It's probably not all the wood, and it's definitely not the Wookiees either, because the Wookiees, for a slave army, wouldn't make any sense. They have their droids. They don't need slave armies, a slave force. They already have one. Where the position is in the galaxy compared to where it is on Coruscant, I'm not aware. Maybe it's just various histories. I cannot say this word. Maybe the strategy of having that planet, it's a very good placement, but I don't know for sure. I never understood why there was fighting there. I can understand why there's fighting on some planets where maybe there is resources there that I don't know about.
The feeble skills are no match for the power of the dark side.
When Jedi are about to fight, why do sometimes they take their robe off? And this is very nitpicky. Why do sometimes they take their robe off and others they don't? When Windu and the 3 others went to arrest Palpatine, none of them took their robes off. But throughout the entire, then when Obi-Wan and Anakin, they took their robes off, you would think that they would want to take their robes off because it would be easier to fight without them on. They wouldn't be getting caught in anything. I don't know why that bothers me so much. When Yoda went to fight Dooku in Attack of the Clones, I think he took his robe off. I'm pretty sure of it. And then in this one, he doesn't take it off when he's fighting Palpatine. And this is an incredibly stupid conversation. I realize that. Maybe it's because Palpatine caught him off guard. I'm not sure. When Anakin runs/walks into the fight between Mace Windu and the Emperor, it's sort of like a Telltale game at that point, where Anakin needs to push A to be a Jedi or push B to be join the Sith. And man, Anakin slashed that Sith button. He slammed that B button. He really wanted to be a Sith at that point, which makes sense. I mean, I would have cut Mace Windu's. Whoa, what area is this? Man, that was cool. I would have sliced Mace Windu's hand off. That arrogant prick. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I may have been too generous with Attack of the Clones rating because I'm out of a scale of 1 to 10, I'm ranking this an 8, which I know it's far superior. Attack of the Clones, 1%, one number difference between isn't really a good gauge of that for me. But what you gonna do? Now, would I recommend it to anyone on a scale of 1 to 5? This is definitely a 5. Wow, that's pretty cool. Why is Obi-Wan's plaque from the 3rd movie and they're reenacting the site from the 1st movie? I know they're trying to make it like a pinball machine, but they could have had a little bit more fun with that. I would recommend it as a most 75, especially if you're watching all of them. I'm never not going to recommend a Star Wars movie to anyone. Maybe Solo. Maybe that's like a low recommendation. But I really love this movie, and unlike Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, I'm not looking forward to just scenes of this movie. I'm looking forward to the whole movie. With all that being said, I will see you next video. If anyone is watching this, great. Have some grape juice, and thank you. Bye.